Welcome to this video on the second law of thermodynamics. The topic of second law of thermodynamics is extremely important. This law, after all, has inspired scientists, engineers, philosophers, and even creationists. They have used it to validate their claims. A very popular rock band called Muse released an album called The Second Law, which was in reference to this very powerful law. Now, before we begin to unpack the second law, I would like to mention a few facts here about the law. First thing, we should know that it's easier to understand and it's easier to prove and disprove a positive statement, and it's difficult to prove or disprove a negative statement. The thing about the second law is that it's a double negative statement, and that's why it's very difficult and it has been very challenging for scientists to prove or disapprove. So I'll explain it by way of an example. So let's say we have a person who gives a positive statement and he says that I know Japanese. Now that's a positive statement. You can prove or disapprove it by asking him a few questions in Japanese. So if he responds to them, then surely he knows the Japanese language. So it's easy to prove or disprove a positive statement. Now let's look at a negative statement. The same person says, I do not know Japanese. This is a negative statement. Now, proving it or disproving it would be very difficult, because if you ask the person in Japanese a few questions, he may not choose to respond, and it might be the fact that he knows the language, but he's hiding it. So you can appreciate the challenge here that is incurred when proving or disapproving a negative statement. And the second law of thermodynamics is a double negative, and that's why it has over centuries intrigued a lot of scientists. So let's have a look at what the second law states.